Hello everyone. We have a game with the white pieces against Dake Alejeito 123, rated 1592. He starts off with knight f6, preventing our e4. So let's go knight c3, supporting our e4 pawn push. He plays a6, anticipating the Jobava London because I put my knight here. And so he's stopping knight b5 in the future. But I think he's jumping the gun a little bit because I'm playing e4, not bishop f4. He let me take the center. That's what I'm going to do. Now he plays d6, trying to prevent us from kicking his knight. Okay. It also opens up his bishop. And we get the turn back. I'm just going to develop my bishop to d3, aim at a potentially castled king, over defend my pawn. If I ever push my pawn, it will have an open diagonal. It also, he probably wanted to go bishop g4 and was waiting for my knight to come out. So now it's a little weird for him to try to do that because I might play f3. So I switched it up on him to confuse him. And now he's jumping the knight forward, which is kind of crazy. Am I, like, what? What is this move? He's moving the same piece twice to not create a threat. I guess he wants to go here, and if I take, go backwards, but that's never going to happen. Because I'm going to kick the knight right now with one of my pawns. I guess I'll use the h3 pawn and I could at least understand if your queen was open and you wanted to give some vague check or whatever, but here, the only thing open is your bishop. So you just gave up your piece and you're rated 1600. So how is he rated 1600? How are you not rated 1600? He goes g6, opening up his bishop, but not even towards my king, it's towards my queen side, so why do you sacrifice a piece? I'm just going to develop my knight, and now I have a perfect center with beautiful minor pieces, and he has absolutely nothing. That's, how do you get to 1600 like that is beyond me. So he finqueros. He now has one nice, decent piece. I want to castle by hand, so let's move our rook over to f1. And then maybe we can slink our king back as if we had castled normally. We have an open f-file for the rook, so that's a bonus. So black just castles. Let's just move our king back to safety on g1. And now everything's nice. And even though we wasted so much time castling by hand, we're the ones who are still up in development, up in center. So what has he been doing this whole game? So he plays e5, which attacks our pawn, maybe tries to open up his bishop a little bit. But we are, at the end of the day, up an entire piece. So you definitely can maintain the tension, but I'm going to keep this pawn here for now, blocking his bishop. Any queen trade is good for us because we're up a piece. But in this position, we can just continue developing. So I'm going to induce f6 by developing my bishop here. And by playing f6, his bishop becomes worse again. And then I'm going to move this bishop to this diagonal with check now that the pawn moved. And what this does is gives me A, his king is stuck in the corner. B, his bishop now has two pawns in front of it. C, I get to force the queen trade up a piece, so now he has no potential counterplay. And then D, at the end of it all, I go back to the square I wanted to go to begin with, just with an overall better position. They're just a force sequence that caters to my preferences. He develops the knight, which looks towards the center. But I think developing our last piece makes sense, contesting the open file. There's also knight in the center, which makes a lot of sense. And we have a really nice position. I still don't understand the whole knight sacrifice. That was interesting. So he throws his knight in the center, which is defended 2 times, but attacked 3 times. So how's this supposed to work? I guess he's sacrificing a pawn to open up his bishop. That kind of makes sense. I mean, in that regard, we don't have to take. Although we're going to. It's not like we're afraid of it. I'm going to take with the bishop, not the rook. And then everything just stares at everything. It's very uncomfortable for him. The knight's going to come in here, stare at everything again. All my pieces are super active. He has nowhere to go with this bishop. That's why he launches this guy up the board to make some space. I was going to put the knight here. You could technically put the bishop here. And once he moves the rook, I mean, whatever. We'll just put the bishop here because he happens to be hitting it. And we get the turn back. I thought you couldn't do this because we just take the pawn and you still have to move. What? And I want to take this next. I don't think it's hanging anything. Even if he takes my rook, I have check. Although if he takes this way, I can't take his rook because he takes this way. Although check, king here, and I still get the bishop. So it all works out in the end. Look at that. Lucky me. Let's grab a free pawn then. Which forces a ton of trades, and since we're up a piece, it'll get us faster through the end game. There you go. He doesn't even see the resource, probably. I mean, it's either way, we're completely winning, so let's just go through the game. So we make the first move in what could be a Jabava London, but I make no promises. But this guy, he's fully committed to me playing the Jabava London, so he throws in a6. Of course, you didn't stop me from playing e4, so I do that. Center, development. Development and center, with the nuance that if I brought the knight out, it gives him an easy bishop move that you know he wants to make. But by bringing the bishop out, if he does that, maybe I'll play f3. So now he has to think about it. And then this is just crazy. I mean, improving move for free. And then the evaluation is plus 4.5. That's how bad it is. Terrible. Because he has no development to back it up. It makes no sense. I'm better developed. It makes no sense. Whatever. So anyway, just development center. Development and king safety. King safety. Now you don't have to take, but you also could. It's plus 5. You can do whatever you want. We take to cement a pawn on this square so his bishop can get stuck behind it. And we have easy access route for our queen and rooks. Develop for free. Develop for free. Free stuff because trades are wins for us. Let's say force move to its best square. And look at our position. It looks great. Plus 5. Development in center. Free stuff. Free stuff. plus 6. Force move. Free stuff plus 7. Free stuff plus 7, so he resigned. But he could have resigned at any point. I mean, he hung his knight on purpose, so he could have just not started the game. We have all zeros, 98%, 11 cent upon. So, but this guy didn't exactly challenge us with. The second he puts his knight here, even if he doesn't sack it, the engine says it's plus 1.6. So even if you move it back, you're clearly just worse and have wasted a ton of time for no reason. He was really high rated to be playing like this, but what are you going to do? Free win for us. Yay for the almost above London. Good luck in your chess. See you in the next video.